जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद वंदे गुरूनीश भक्तानीशानीशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशां तत्शक्ति कृष्ण चैतन्य संज्ञकं ग्रंथेरारंभ कोरि मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेरा स्मरण होया भिघ्न विनाशन अनयास सफल निज वांछित पुरन नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you so much for joining. Sati Mataji, Poli Mataji, Preeti Mataji, and Varun Prabhu, thank you for taking out your most valuable time to read, hear, discuss Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are reading Adi Lila Chapter 7, entitled Lord Chaitanya in the Five Features. We have covered till text number 72 in the last discussion. So where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is attempting to answer to the doubts, to the questions of Prakashananda Saraswati. So Lord Chaitanya replies in the verse 71, 72, Kiba Mantra. We discussed that verse, that this mantra, my spiritual master considered me a fool. That means out of great humility, Lord Chaitanya is saying this, that I don't have intelligence. Guru gave me this mantra, I need to just chant this mantra. Krishna mantra hoite hobe sansara mochana. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. Translation and purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Wow, isn't that powerful? One will be able to obtain freedom from the material existence and will be able to attain the lotus feet. In the Anubhashya, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami says that the actual effect that will be visible as soon as one achieves transcendental knowledge is that he will immediately become free from the clutches of Maya and fully engage in the service of the Lord. Unless one serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mukunda, one cannot become free from fruitive activities under the external energy. However, when one chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one can realize a transcendental position that is completely aloof from the material conception of life. Rendering service to the Lord, a devotee relates to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of the five relationships, namely Shant, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya. And thus he relishes transcendental bliss in that relationship. Such a relationship certainly transcends the body and mind. When one realizes that the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Supreme Person, he becomes completely eligible to chant the holy name of the Lord. So powerful. When one realizes that the holy name is identical with the Supreme Person, then we become eligible to chant the holy name of the Lord. Wow. Such an such an ecstatic chanter and dancer must be considered to have a direct relationship with the Lord. According to the Vedic principles, there are three stages of spiritual advancement, namely Sambandha Gyan, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Sambandha Gyan refers to establishing one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Abhideya refers to acting according to that constitutional relationship. And Prayojan is the ultimate goal of life, which is to develop love of Godhead. Prema Pumartho Mahan. If one adheres to the regulative principles under the order of the spiritual master, he very easily achieves the ultimate goal of his life. Wow. Each line is like so powerful. Very easily, if one adheres to the order of the spiritual master. A person who is addicted to chanting the Hare Krishna mantra very easily gets the opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Again, so each line is so powerful. There is no need for such a person to understand the grammatical jugglery in which Mayavadi sannyasis generally indulge. Sri Shankaracharya also stressed this point. Nahi nahi rakshati dukrina karane. Simply by juggling grammatical suffixes and prefixes, one cannot save himself from the clutches of death. The grammatical word jugglers cannot bewilder a devotee who engages in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Simply addressing the energy of the Supreme Lord as Hare and the Lord himself as Krishna very soon situates the Lord within the heart of the devotee. Wow. The Lord is situated very soon, simply addressing basically Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This situates the Lord within the heart of the devotee. By thus addressing Radha and Krishna, one directly engages in his Lordship's service. The essence of all the revealed scriptures and all knowledge is present when one addresses the Lord and his energy by the Hare Krishna mantra. For this transcendental vibration can completely liberate a conditioned soul and directly engage him in the service of the Lord. Wow. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented, oh, it's a long purport, so maybe someone else can read from here.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented himself as a grand fool, yet he maintained that all the words that he had heard from his spiritual master strictly followed the principles stated by Vyasdeva in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.6. Anarthopasamam saksad bhakti yogam adhokshje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhitam. The material miseries of a living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this. And therefore, the learned Vyasdeva compiled this Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in relation to the supreme truth. One can overcome all misconceptions and entanglement in the material world by practicing Bhakti Yoga. And therefore, Vyasdeva, acting on the instruction of Sri Narada, has very kindly introduced Srimad Bhagavatam to relieve the conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya. Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master instructed him, therefore, that one must read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and with scrutiny to gradually become attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Will I read the next paragraph or someone can read?
Let's see if someone wants to read this. Anyone would like to read this last paragraph of the purport?
I can read to you. The holy name and the Lord are identical. One who is completely free from the clutches of Maya can understand this fact. This knowledge, which is achieved by the mercy of the spiritual master, places one on the supreme transcendental platform. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented himself as a fool because prior to accepting the shelter of a spiritual master, he could not understand that simply by chanting one can be relieved from all material conditions. But as soon as he became a faithful servant of his spiritual master and followed his instructions, he very easily saw the path of liberation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra must be understood to be devoid of all offenses. The 10 offenses against the holy names are as follows: to blaspheme a devotee of the Lord, to consider Lord and the demigods to be on the same level, or to think that there are many gods, three, to neglect the orders of the spiritual master, four, to minimize the authority of the scriptures, Vedas, five, to interpret the holy name of the God, six, to commit sins on the strength of the chanting, seven, to instruct the glories of the Lord's name, the unfaithful, eight, to compare the chanting of the holy name with material piety, nine, to be inattentive while chanting the holy name, and 10, to be attached to material things in spite of chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna. Back to Prabhuji.
Thank you, Navdeep Prabhu and Masati Mataji, for reading the purport. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is responding to Prakashananda Saraswati that he is not chanting the holy name as a mental speculation or anything. This holy name is so powerful. Sansara mochana, right? It relieves from the material existence. It delivers from the material and what else? It leads to Krishnera Charana. Anyone who chants Krishna Nama hoite pabe Krishnera Charana. Beautiful words. Krishna mantra hoite habe sansara mochana. Krishna Nama hoite pabe Krishnera Charana. So two outcomes are mentioned for one who chants the holy names or takes the names of the Supreme Lord. Will be relieved from all the material suffering, delivered from material world, but not go to Brahma Jyoti, not go to some impersonal light, not go to Viraja river or this or that, but go to Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's lotus feet. One will attain Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna Racharan. Nirantara namlo karatulasi sevan achirat pabe tabo Krishna Racharan. When we chant, there are so many verses where this Krishna Charana comes. And that's the goal of one's life. So this verse, in one way, it's very simple. And bhakti is simple for simple. Just chant the holy name without offenses. Don't offend the Vaishnavas. Don't blaspheme devotees. Take Krishna Prasad. Don't lead to mental speculation or word jugglery as we discussed. That's pretty much it. Have Sangha of devotees who are like-minded, Sajatiya Sangha, who are also aspiring for Shuddha Bhakti. Read Bhagavatam under the guidance of a spiritual master, with scrutiny, regularly and with scrutiny, to gradually become attached to the chanting of. There's also like so many beautiful nuggets are there about chanting that one must read Bhagavatam gradually with scrutiny to gradually become attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's what we are trying to do. Because as mentioned here, we may not be perfect chanters, But how will we get there? When we practice, when we sincerely try to, we are practicing chanting. I'm talking about myself. We are practicing to avoid all these offenses. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Now, who can say that all the 16 malas and 108 japa mantras, one is fully attentive? If one is, then one is certainly a very, very great soul. Hmm. But we are trying to practice that too. So when we know that these are the offenses we need to avoid, then we'll be more careful. The mind will go in different things, office thoughts, family thoughts, and maybe this planning, that planning. So many thoughts mind will give. But as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, trying to bring it back, trying to bring it back. So these are the essential principles of bhakti, and the topmost amongst them is the chanting of the holy name. And that's what Lord Chaitanya is saying. To get the goal of life, we need to sincerely chant. Bhakti means bhakti in our Krishna consciousness movement. The whole movement is based around chanting, is it not? Whether we are doing arti, we are chanting. Morning japa, chanting. Festival, Rath Yatra, program, indoor, outdoor, chanting. Bhagavatam class, chanting, right? We meet devotees, Hari Bol, that's also chanting, right? Hare Krishna, chanting, right? What else? Prasadam, Mahaprasade Govind. It's also around chanting, remembering Krishna. Bhagavatam is Nama Rupa Guna Kirtan, right? We are or individually japa, collectively chanting, Bhakti Vriksha, Namahata, home programs, Sukheta ko, Dukheta ko, some loss of a dear one, chant Hare Krishna. They're very happy, joyful, chant Hare Krishna. Griheta ko, Vanyeta ko, whether in the home or in the forest, whether in India or America, or in any city, any age, any country, any sex, any gender, all these things, we can always chant. And this is the goal of life. The more we do chanting, the more we'll become addicted to it. The example is also given of jaundice patient. One may say, well, I'm not addicted to it. It's a burden. It's a medicine. I don't feel like. Then the acharyas give the example. Because I am afflicted with jaundice, the infection, the disease of the jaundice, which is material attachment. Now, how to overcome it? Take the sugarcane juice. That's a remedy for jaundice. The sugarcane juice here is again chanting. Madhura Madhura Meta Mangalam Mangalana Sakala Nigamavalli Satphalam Prit Pradharsham. It's a beautiful verse. Let me pull that up on the chanting of the holy name, which His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu shared about 3 weeks back when he was taking the kids' class. So I'll try to open up. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, I did find out. Let me share that. It's from Pratyavali. Madhura Madhura Metan Mangalam Mangalanam Sakala Nigamavalli Satphalam Chit Swarupam Sakrit Api Parigitam Shraddaya Helayava Briguvara Naramatram Tarayet Krishna Nama Tarayet Krishna Nama. Madhura Madhura Metan, Krishna's holy name is very, very sweet. Madhura. Mangalam Mangalara. Amongst the auspicious thing, amongst all the auspicious things, it's the most auspicious. Amongst all the sweet things, it's the sweetest. Sakala Nigamavalli, it's the ripened fruit of all the holy scriptures. It's a ripened fruit, as that's mentioned for Bhagavatam also. It's a transcendental fruit of all the Vedic literature. Oh, the best of Bhrigu. Bhrigu Varanarama. Tara Yet Krishna Nama. No, it delivers. Whether one chants with faith, Shraddha, Helayava, with contempt or with pride. No, no, this is not going to work. This Hare Krishna people are crazy. This holy name is exaggeration. But still, even if one has not so favorable attitude, still it will work. Sakrit, even once, Sakrit api parigitam, if one chants this Gita or this holy name, that's the power. It will always work. Beautiful verse. And that's what we see here also. Krishna mantra hoite habe samsara mochana. Krishna nama hoite pabe Krishnera charana. Krishna mantra se kya hoga? Sansara mochan will be delivered from this material existence. And not just that, pabe Krishnera charana. One will attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Any comments, thoughts, additions here? Okay, so let's continue the glories of the holy name. 74. Yes, Prabhuji. Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, want to read this one?
Sure. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 7, Adilya, text 74. Nam bina kolikale nahi ar dharma, sarva mantra saranam ei shastra marma. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than the chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. Purport: the principles of the Parampara system were strictly honored in previous ages, Satyajug, Tretajug, and Dapurjug. But in the present age, Kali Yuga, people neglect the importance of this system of Shrota Parampara, or receiving knowledge by disciplic succession. In this age, people are prepared to argue that they can understand that which is beyond their limited knowledge and perception through so-called scientific observations and experiments, not knowing that actual truth comes down to man from authorities. This argumentative attitude is against the Vedic principles, and it is very difficult for one who adopts it to understand that the holy name of Krishna is as good as Krishna himself. Since Krishna and his holy name are identical, the holy name is eternally pure and beyond material contamination. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a transcendental vibration. The holy name is completely different from material sound, as confirmed by Narottam Das Thakur. Golokero Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. The transcendental vibration of Harinama Sankirtan is imported from the spiritual world. Thus, although materialists who are addicted to experimental knowledge and the so-called scientific method cannot place their faith in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is a fact that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, one can be freed from all subtle and gross material conditions. The spiritual world is called Vaikuntha, which means without anxiety. In the material world, everything is full of anxiety, Kuntha. Whereas in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, everything is free from anxiety, Therefore, those who are afflicted by a combination of anxieties cannot understand the Hare Krishna mantra, which is free from all anxiety. In the present age, the vibration of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only process that is in a transcendental position beyond material contamination. Since the holy name can deliver a conditioned soul, it is explained here to be Sharva Mantra Sharo, the essence of all Vedic hymns. So should I finish or should I someone? So Hare Krishna here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the glories of the holy name. First, Prabhupada mentioned one important thing, that previously everything was descending process. It is not like ascending. It comes from parampara and just by hearing. So as Srila Prabhupada always mentioned, when Prabhupada sees something very important, he gives the big purport. So again, hearing is so important here that Prabhupada is saying that that was happening in other yugas. But in this yuga, people are, we are actually, we don't have any enough memory. We don't have any enough intelligence. We cannot just by hearing. And that's what the scientists, they say, okay, we'll do the experiments like Pratyaksha Praman. But it is Shabda Praman actually, which helps previously was happening. So Prabhupada is saying that. And then Prabhupada is mentioning that it is very difficult actually to understand, to actually conceive that Krishna's name and he is non-different. And actually Krishna's name is, Lord's name is actually greater than Lord. And in that context, I want to share a story. I think most of you know, but I just want to share that because it was happening during Lord Ram's time, Lord Ram's pastime. And I heard it from Her Grace Nitai Shevini Mataji. So, Prabhu, I'm going to take little time for that story. So, one time, the king of Kashi, he was a friend of Lord Ram. It is that pastime happened after Lord Ram killed Ravan, and he was actually became the king of the world that time. So he was friend of Kashi, king of Kashi. So king of Kashi's father died and he was doing the Saddha ceremony. And you know, in Saddha ceremony, they have to give the orgo, means everything to a best person. Like in Advaita Acharya's father's Saddha ceremony, he gave the orgo to Srila Haridas Thakur. So same thing. So he asked Narad Muni that who should I give? So Narad Muni said, give it to Agastya Muni. But here, there, Vishwamitra Muni was also there. So king of Kashi asked Narad Muni, can I give it to Vishwamitra Muni? Because he is Lord Ram's guru. And then Narad Muni said, no, Vishwamitra Muni is not a pure. He came from, he came from Kshatriya, he became Brahman. So no, give it to Agastya Muni. So anyway, he gave the orgo. And then Narad Muni went to Vishwamitra Muni and told him, Vishwamitra Muni was not upset. He was happy that Agastya Muni got that. But Narad Muni told him, did you see Vishwamitra Muni? That this king of Kashi, he doesn't know the etiquette. You are the best person, you should have got it. Why didn't you take revenge? Your disciple is Lord Ram. Ask Ram to come and teach him a good lesson, how to behave with the saintly persons or rishis or gurudevs. Then Vishwamitra Muni became very angry. You know, when he becomes angry, he let know everybody. So king of Kashi became really sad and very scared. He told Narad Muni, I did everything according to your instruction. But now you see, Narad said, don't worry, go to Hanuman, go to Mother Anjana, Hanuman's mother, and tell her that you need help. Ask Hanuman to help you. So Narad, King of Kashi went to Hanuman's mother, and she was doing puja. She was doing puja to Lord Ram. King of Kashi was sitting very patiently. After she finished, she said, Mother, I need a help from you. I need you ask Hanuman. If you ask Hanuman, he is going to do that. Ask Hanuman to save me from Lord Ram. Then Hanuman came. His mother Anjana told her, Hanuman, you have to do that. And I promised to King of Kashi. Then Hanuman said, no, I cannot do anything against Lord Ram. He's my Lord. How can I do anything? But Mother Anjana said, no, I promised already to King of Kashi that you have to save him from Lord Ram. Then Hanuman told him, okay, go to that mountain and sit there, that just chant Ram, 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 Ram. So King of Kashi went there and he sit and he concentratedly remembering Lord Ram and chanting Lord Ram. In the meantime, Lord Ram came with all his everybody, a lot of his entourage came and started using all the mantra Vishwamitra Muni gave him. At that time they were putting the mantra and then they will shoot the arrow. Nothing was doing anything. Everything was just, there was a kind of like like Israel right now put their air is, no missile can attack Israel. The same way, same concept they took from Ramayana. So nothing was affecting. That Lord Ram became very perplexed. Then he said, who is helping you? I asked. He said, I just took shelter of Hanuman. Then Lord Ram asked Hanuman, what did you do? He said, Prabhu, I didn't do anything. I just asked him to take your name. Then Narad Muni came. Then he told that, did you see why I did that pastime? Just to make everybody understand that Lord's name is actually more powerful than the Lord. So I just thought just to share that pastime in here. So that kind of we have to have that kind of faith. And Srila Prabhupada is here mentioning that the holy name is how it came from Golok Vrindavan. So Golokero Premadana Harinam Sankirtana, Srila Narottam Das Thakur said. And so that's kind of even His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj one time was saying that even if you take the holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially, that it is confirmed that you will go to Golok Vrindavan. You will not even go to Vaikuntha. So I want to stop here. If someone else can read the next part and you can add and correct.
Sharing that story, Prabhu. Why did Vishwamitra Muni got angry with the king of Kashi? I missed that line.
Because Narad Muni actually went to Vishwamitra Muni and told him that, look, this person, king of Kashi, is so puffed up, he doesn't know the etiquette. You are the Gurudev of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He should give you the first thing, but he gave it to the Agastya Muni. And Vishwamitra Muni thought, oh, yeah. Initially, he was not anything, but Narad Muni actually kind of made that pastime so that Lord Ram became angry with King of Kashi.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful story, Prabhuji. Naam se Ram se badkar Ram ka naam. I have heard that also. Ram se badke Ram ka naam. This other story which kind of reminds me, one time, these monkeys were throwing stones in the water, building the bridge, and Lord Rams was feeling out of his innocence. How can they just write my name and the stone floats on the ocean? Of course, he the Supreme Lord, but doing the Nara Leela. Let me throw a stone myself. Lord Ram threw a stone, and guess what? It didn't float. It sank in the ocean. So Hanuman was kind of like a little bit having somewhere seeing this. This is more like lok katha, but the lesson is very important. So they both are having a like kind of a humorous moment, but with a serious discussion. Oh, Hanuman, why did this happen? So Hanuman says, Prabhu, when we just write your name, the stone floats. Some as we read, samsara mochana, right? We just read that. Sansar says, so this is Bhavasagar, right? We'll not sink in this sagar. We'll 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 go back home. Hmm. Will not will float out of this material world. Will not sink in this material world. But Lord Ram, if you give up someone, that person has no hope. Hmm. So in short, writing on our consciousness the name of Lord Ram, the name of Lord Krishna, one will certainly be free from this material world and go back home. Thank you for sharing this wonderful story. So let's complete the purport. There's 2 small paragraphs. Anyone? Shital Mataji or Ravi Prabhu, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I can read.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mataji.
A name that represents an object of this material world may be subjected to an arguments. Can you scroll up, Prabhuji, please? To arguments and experimental knowledge, but in the absolute world, a name and its owner, the fame and the famous, are identical, and similarly, the qualities, pastimes, and everything else pertaining to the absolute are also absolute. Although Mayavadis profess monism, they differentiate between the holy name of the Supreme Lord and the Lord Himself. For this offense of Namaprad, they gradually glide down from their exalted position of Brahmajnan as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32. Aruhya kritrena param padam tataha patanti adho anadratya yusmad anagrahyaha. Although by severe austerities they rise to the exalted position of Brahmajnan, they nevertheless fall down due to imperfect knowledge of the absolute truth. Although they profess to understand the Vedic mantra Sarvam Khalava Idam Brahma, Chandyoga Upanishad 3.14.1, which means everything is Brahman. I'm sorry, it's Chandyoga. They are unable to understand that the holy name is also Brahman. If they regularly chant the Mahamantra, however, they can be relieved from this misconception. Unless one properly takes shelter of the holy name, he cannot be relieved from the offensive stage in chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So these few verses, the last one, this one, and maybe a few more actually, Lord Chaitanya himself is sharing the importance of chanting, the importance of holy name, right? So many things we are learning that it's non-different. Many devotees keep the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on their altar because it's non-different. Non-different what to speak, non-different, it's even more powerful, as we just heard. So when we are chanting, we must feel I'm conversing with the Supreme Lord. How will we talk if our, if our, let's say, boss, the company, the owner comes, let's say we work for a company, the CEO or the president of the company comes, right? no matter how tired we may be, no matter how whatever we are doing, we'll leave everything, right? To attend or to serve that person. Will not leave him unattended, will not be inattentive. Okay, he's sitting and just passing time or watching phone or some, you know, right? Like when I'm talking to him, I'll be very serious. I'll be like, oh, he's the company president, right? I'll be very serious. Now, millions and millions of Brahmas bow down to the Supreme Lord. That Supreme Lord, we have got one-on-one association during our japa. Think about that, isn't it? Millions, all these so-called presidents of this company, that company, who are they in front of Brahma, right? Nothing. Hmm? Even many Indras, they kind of always go to Brahma, right? The richest of this world, they bow down to the demigods. Demigods bow down to Brahma. Millions of Brahma bow down to that supreme Govindamadi Purusha. And that supreme person, we get the association every day during the chanting of the holy name, right? We are saying, I'll be very attentive if the president comes, but that supreme Govindamadi Purusham does come every day. He's with us, but am I with him? He is there to fully extend us through the medium of holy name. To the degree we reciprocate, to the degree we put our love, our faith, our attention, to the degree he will reciprocate. And to the degree we are, no, I'm just saying all this for my own self, because familiarity breeds contempt. Oh, I have to do it every day. When we do something repeatedly, and we need to realign always, because the conditioned mind may take it for granted. Maya will bring different reasons, but we have to stay charged, stay enthusiastic, stay determined, because Maya will keep bringing different excuses, different reasons. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is emphasizing here about this is the topmost thing coming directly from the spiritual world. This is the essence of all the scripture. This is the essence of all dharma. Especially in this age of Kali Yuga, right? This comes in the Bhagavatam. Krite adhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dvapare paricharyayam kalau haris kirtanan. 12.3.52. Whatever result was obtained in Satyuga by meditating on the Supreme Lord Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, in Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in the Kali Yuga by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we don't need to go to forest for 10,000 years and stand on one leg. We can't take big austerities like Dhruva did, drinking water in maybe like a month or something, then he's just taking air in a few weeks or something. We can't do that. But if we simply take the holy name sincerely, honor Krishna Prasad, serve Vaishnavas, take the association of like-minded, sincere devotees, and read holy scriptures, Bhagavatam, etc., and be careful of the weeds and the offenses. That's it. Bhakti is simple. Bhakti is simple. It's so simple that we may miss it. That's what the acharya says. It's simple. It's very simple, actually. But those who are simple and those who are complicated, it's the most complex thing. Simple, but we must try to not miss the essence. So, any other comments, thoughts? Anyone else has?
Just one thing I wanted to share. That's also I heard from His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj's lecture. So Maharaj was saying that like every Kali Yuga we heard that as the Jugadharma Nam Sankirtan. Like beginning of that, like Sri Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, they were given the name Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. They were chanting that name. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is most powerful than any other Lord's name. That was Maharaj was saying. That because we know that Srila Ramanujacharya, he spread, he actually disobeyed his spiritual master's instruction. He went to the marketplace and then gave that mantra. So Maharaj was saying that this Kali Yuga is very, we are very fortunate, and this Kali Yuga, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is most powerful. Just to share.
Very well. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other comments, realizations, thoughts? Anyone has any questions? Especially we're talking about holy name, and the next few verses will also continue about the holy name. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking this directly to Prakashananda Saraswati. These are the words of the Supreme Lord. A lot of important verses in this section. Okay, I think Varun Prabhu, you have want to discuss something, so we'll pause the meeting, and Varun Prabhu, you can stay on. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavrind ki jai, Dai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanibhyo, Yo Namo Namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.